All right, so get this. We're going deep on confidence today. You know, like, why are some people just naturally confident? You know what I mean? And others, like, really struggle with it.
Yeah, for sure. It's something I think about a lot, you know?
Yeah,
Like, what makes a difference?
exactly. And so we've got some excerpts from this book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Called The Roots of Confidence.
Yeah. Nature, nurture, and choice.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. And it's really interesting because it's not just about, what you've accomplished or, like, how you look.
Right. It's way more than that. Like, it goes deeper.
Yeah, it's like there's this whole nature versus nurture thing going on. Like, are we even starting at the same point?
Yeah, that's the first thing they talk about, right? This idea of, like, innate predispositions. Like, we're born with certain tendencies that can, like, kind of set us up to be more or less confident.
I can see that. Like, I have a niece, and she's just naturally outgoing,
Yeah.
She's never met a stranger. And so she just, like, jumps into things, tries new stuff, and, like, each time she gets a little more confident.
Right. And it just keeps building from there, you know?
Totally. But then, what about those of us who aren't like that?
Well, I mean, think about it like this.
Okay.
Even if you're, like, naturally a little more cautious or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The environment still plays a huge role in shaping how those tendencies, like, actually play out, right?
Yeah, I guess it's like a plant,
Okay.
right? You could have the best seeds in the world, but if you plant them in crappy soil,
Exactly. They're not going to thrive.
right, they need the right environment. So, okay, so are we talking about, like, having supportive parents or teachers, who kind of create this safe space for kids to, just be themselves?
Yeah, yeah. Those early experiences can be so impactful, you know? Like, imagine a kid who's always being, like, praised for their effort and creativity. They're going to feel more confident, right? Like, they're going to develop this strong sense of self-worth.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's not just parents and teachers,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's social media and, like, all those expectations from society. That's got to play a role, too.
Oh, absolutely. Like, think about all the messages we get about what success looks like, you know, or what's considered desirable.
Yeah.
That stuff definitely shapes how we see ourselves, you know?
It's like we're constantly comparing ourselves.
For sure.
But wait, okay, before we get too deep into that,
Yeah.
right? Because it can get kind of depressing.
Yeah, totally.
There's this other part, and I'm really excited about this, because it's all about the power of choice. Like, we actually have control over some of this stuff.
Yeah, that's where it gets really empowering, right? It's not all just predetermined.
So even if, like, our childhood wasn't ideal, or if we're constantly comparing ourselves to Instagram influencers,
Right, exactly.
we can still build our own confidence.
Yeah. It's about this thing called self-efficacy.
What is that?
Basically, it's like how much you believe in your ability to handle things and, like, achieve your goals.
So it's not just feeling good about yourself in general. It's more specific. Like, I'm confident I can do this particular thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm confident I can give this presentation, or, you know, I can learn to play guitar.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the thing is, self-efficacy, it's not something you're born with, right? It's something
Right.
you develop through your experiences, you know, through how you, like, interpret your successes and failures even.
So that gives me hope, because
Yeah.
it means we can actually change things.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just stuck with whatever we started with.
Totally.
But how do we do that? I mean, is it just about, like, positive thinking and affirmations?
Well, it's a little more nuanced than that. Like, this book, it lays out some really practical strategies.
Okay, yeah.
And the cool thing is, it's all about things we can actually control, right? Our thoughts, our actions, our mindset.
Okay, I'm ready. What's step one?
So step one is we got to become aware of those, like, sneaky little negative thoughts that pop up, you know?
Right.
Like the ones that sabotage our confidence. We all have them, right? Like, you're not good enough, or you're going to fail.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to let them run the show, you know?
Right. It's like we have to become, like, thought detectives,
Yes, exactly.
Catch those negative thoughts red-handed.
And then, you know, challenge them. Like, are they really true?
Right. But on trial.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, once you've, like, busted those negative thoughts, try replacing them with something positive, right?
So instead of saying, I'm going to mess this up, you'd say, I've got this, or I'm ready for this.
Yeah, exactly. You're rewiring your brain for confidence.
I like that. So it's not just ignoring those negative thoughts, it's replacing them with something better.
Exactly.
But what about action? Where does that fit in?
Action is huge because confidence often comes from competence, right? And competence comes from practice, like putting in the work. So it's not just about thinking positive, it's about actually doing things, honing your skills, taking on challenges that help you grow.
Mm. Okay, I get it. Like, think about learning a language or an instrument, right?
Hmm.
The more you practice, the better you get, and the more confident you feel.
Exactly. It's that sense of, I can do this, I've done it before.
Make sense?
Mm.
And then there's like this whole idea of stepping outside your comfort zone,
Mm.
which I'll admit can be a little scary sometimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, you have to do it,
You
right?
got to push those boundaries,
Mm.
because that's where real growth happens, and that's where that lasting confidence comes from.
Yeah, I think I've avoided a lot of things in my life because I was afraid to fail.
I think we all do that to some extent, right?
Yeah. But maybe if we just embraced the challenge, trusted that we could figure things out along the way.
Exactly. It's about shifting from this fixed mindset
Yeah.
where you think your abilities are just like set in stone, to this growth mindset where you believe you can learn and improve.
Okay, so we've got nature, nurture, and now the power of choice.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else in this confidence cocktail?
Well, there is one more ingredient, and it's a bit of a wild card.
Ooh, I like wild cards. Lay it on me.
Luck.
Fuck, wait, luck. Like winning the lottery kind of luck.
Well, exactly, though. That wouldn't hurt.
Right.
But it's more about serendipity,
Serendipity.
Those unexpected opportunities, those chance encounters, that can really impact your life and ultimately your confidence.
So like being in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. Meeting the right person, stumbling upon some hidden opportunity, those kinds of things, they can be game changers.
Okay, so it's like confidence is a lot more complex than we usually think, right? It's not just about feeling good about yourself. It's about all this other stuff too. Nature, nurture, choices we make, and even a little bit of luck.
Yeah, it's multifaceted. It's dynamic.
And the good news is, even though we can't control all of it, we can definitely influence it,
Yeah.
shape how those factors play out in our lives.
Totally.
Yeah.
We have more control than we think.
I'm sensing a whole bunch of actionable tips coming our way.
Oh, yeah, we've got some good ones. But first, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty of actually building that unshakable confidence we all want.
I love it. All right, be right back.
So, we were just talking about luck right before the break.
Yeah, like serendipity and stuff.
And it is kind of crazy to think about how, like, random chance encounters can totally change things,
For sure. But okay, so besides just hoping to bump into like a celebrity or something,
Right?
what can we actually do to like build our confidence, on purpose?
So one thing this book really emphasizes is like tackling those negative thoughts head on.
Oh,
Like those little voices in your head that tell you you're not good enough or whatever.
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah, so instead of just letting them run wild, you got to like challenge them.
I'm on trial.
Exactly. Like ask yourself, is this thought even true? Is there like any actual evidence to back it up?
Yeah.
And then, once you've kind of debunked that negative thought, try replacing it with something positive, something more empowering,
So it's like instead of saying I'm going to mess this up, I'd say I've got this or I'm prepared for this.
Exactly. You're basically rewiring your brain for confidence.
I like that. So it's not just ignoring the bad thoughts. It's like actively replacing them with good ones.
Right. And another strategy is to focus on setting realistic goals, because sometimes we set ourselves up for failure by like aiming too high or just being too vague about what we want.
So you're saying break those big, overwhelming goals down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, every time you achieve one of those smaller goals, it reinforces your self-efficacy.
Oh, right. That belief that you can actually get stuff done.
Yeah, exactly. It builds momentum, like you're proving to yourself that you're capable.
It's like collecting evidence, right?
Yes, exactly. And speaking of evidence, don't forget to celebrate those wins, no matter how small.
I love that. It's so easy to just like keep moving on to the next thing, without really acknowledging how far you've come.
Yeah, it's like we're always focused on what's next instead of appreciating what we've already accomplished.
Totally guilty of that. But okay, so we talked about tackling negative thoughts, setting realistic goals, and celebrating wins. What else?
Well, another big one is focusing on your strengths,
Okay, but that's something I really struggle with, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
It's so easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others, and focusing on all your weaknesses.
For sure. But the thing is, everyone has strengths, right?
Yeah.
So the first step is to actually identify what yours are.
Okay, how do you do that?
Well, sometimes it helps to think about what comes easily to you, or what other people compliment you on. Like, what do you naturally gravitate towards?
It's like uncovering those hidden talents,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. And then once you know what your strengths are, you can make a conscious effort to use them.
Okay, so like seeking out opportunities that play to my strengths.
Yeah. Or even just reminding yourself of your strengths when you're facing a challenge. Like, I'm good at this, I can handle this.
I love that. Okay, so we've got tackling negative thoughts, setting realistic goals, celebrating wins, and focusing on our strengths.
Well,
And now for the scary part, right? Stepping outside our comfort zones.
I had to do it.
I know. It's just so much easier said than done.
Yeah, but the thing is, real growth and that lasting confidence, it comes from embracing those moments of discomfort.
So even if it feels awkward or scary, just go for it.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you're expanding your capacity for what's possible. You're showing yourself that you can handle more than you thought you could.
And isn't that like the whole point of confidence? Believing in yourself, even when things are uncertain.
Exactly. But okay, so what about those times when we do step outside our comfort zone and things don't go as planned?
Right, like what about those setbacks? The failures.
That's where self-compassion comes in.
Self-compassion. Really? I always thought confidence was about being tough, pushing through no matter what.
Well, resilience is important, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's equally important to be kind to yourself, especially when you're struggling.
Okay, so like instead of beating myself up for making a mistake, I should treat myself with the same kindness I would offer a friend.
Exactly. Everyone makes mistakes, right? Setbacks are just part of the process.
And it's how we respond to those setbacks that really matters.
Exactly. So cut yourself some slack. Learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward.
Okay, so self-compassion isn't weak, it's actually a strength.
Totally. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it, too.
Oh, right. Like reach out to a friend, a mentor, a therapist, anyone who can offer support and encouragement.
Exactly. Sometimes we just need that outside perspective, that reminder that we're not alone.
Okay, so we've got self-compassion and asking for help, and then I guess the last piece is that whole growth mindset thing, right?
Yeah, remember, building confidence is a journey, not a destination.
It's like a muscle you have to keep working out.
Exactly. So embrace those challenges, view failures as opportunities to learn, and just keep growing.
I love that. Okay, so confidence isn't just this fixed trait you're born with. It's something you can actually build and develop over time.
Exactly. And with the right mindset and strategies, you can create that unshakable confidence you've always wanted.
This has been amazing. I feel like I have a whole new understanding of confidence now.
Me too. It's so much more than just feeling good about yourself. It's about believing in your ability to learn and grow and achieve your goals.
And knowing that you have the power to shape your own confidence, that's incredibly empowering.
Totally. And the best part is it's never too late to start. No matter where you're starting from, you can always take steps to build your confidence.
All right, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a question. What's one area of your life where you'd like to feel more confident?
And what's one small step you can take today, using those tools we talked about, to start building that confidence?
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into confidence. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and feel inspired to take action. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building that unshakable confidence from within. Wow, we covered a lot today, huh? Confidence, who knew it was so complicated?
Right. It's not just one thing, It's like all these different factors working together.
What really stuck with me is that self-efficacy thing.
Yeah, me too.
It's like believing you can actually handle things, not just feeling good about yourself in general, but like knowing you've got what it takes to deal with whatever comes your way.
Exactly. And the research shows it's a big predictor of success, across the board.
Really?
Yeah, in school, work, relationships, even just overall well-being.
Yeah. Wow. So it's not just like a feel-good thing.
Yeah.
It actually makes a difference.
Big time. And the best part is you can build it.
Yeah, like with all those strategies we talked about.
Right. Challenging negative thoughts, setting realistic goals, all that stuff.
It's like we're assembling this confidence toolkit.
I like that.
So we've got all these different tools we can use to navigate life and deal with those inevitable bumps in the road.
And knowing you have those tools, that can be so empowering.
Totally. It's like you're not just at the mercy of your circumstances anymore.
You have choices. You can take action.
So it's not about finding confidence, it's about building it.
That's it. It's a journey, not a destination.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to ask our listeners something.
Okay.
What's one area in your life where you'd like to feel more confident?
And what's one small step you can take today, using those tools we talked about, to start building that confidence? Remember, even small steps can make a big difference over time.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into confidence. We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to take action. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building that unshakable confidence from within.
This is DigitView.